Hey Most Amazing Top 10 family, I'm your host Chada Rain and welcome back to Most Amazing Top 10. You would be surprised what people think is okay to throw away in the garbage, and I'm not just talking about people who don't know how to recycle properly. There are a ton of horrible things that have been pulled out of the trash that some poor garbage man has to pick up and discover like the worst surprise that has ever existed. This happens so often that I'm bringing you today's list of top 10 insane things found in the garbage. This is going to be a crazy list and you're gonna want to stick around until the end because I am going to be doing some more pet shoutouts, which you guys love so much. Remember, if you want me to shout out your pet, you can hit me up on Instagram, and if there's anyone at home who wants to check out some of the Most Amazing Top 10 merch, click on the link in the description below and use the offer code MA10. That will give you $5 off, and that means you can grab a shirt for only 10 bucks, which is a sweet deal. And without taking any longer, let's get into this list. At number 10, we have a bear. When we go to throw out our garbage, you might think that the worst thing that's going to happen is that the bag is going to rip open and rain trash all over your feet like you just busted open a piñata made by Oscar the Grouch. But you're not thinking about a man-eating monster hiding in the dumpster, gnawing on all the things you threw away. You think that raccoons are going to be in there every now and again, but that a big old bear will work its way in there and try to find some treats? Well, this can happen. In fact, I have a clip for you. Will the person in the video get eaten alive by a massive beast, or will he survive the attack from his hairy opponent? Find out next time on Dragon Ball Z. Actually, find out right now.
Hey, buddy.
That is not how I thought this was going to play out when I first clicked on this video. I didn't know black bears were such scaredy cats. I guess next time you encounter one, you should just try to surprise them with something and it'll run off worse than O.J. Simpson in a white Bronco. At number 9, we have a whole camper. Sometimes things you find in the garbage can be crazy because they might kill you, or other things just feel like they were pulled out of the Twilight Zone. Some of them are just so bizarre you have to ask yourself, what on earth happened here? There were some garbage workers in Wales who came across a whole camper. Now I bet you can picture this. Someone broke down a whole camper and chucked all the pieces into the trash and then took off. Well, actually it worked out in a way stranger way. Someone actually took the whole camper and put it on top of the dumpster. How did someone manage to move something that weighs probably thousands of pounds and put it on top of a dumpster? Well, that is unknown. The waste disposal workers were stumped by this one and they could not figure out. It could have been a group of people and they just lifted it, or did they get a crane? Was it some black magic? The case could not be cracked, but it was a huge inconvenience trying to get this giant camper off of the dumpster. And number 8, we have mangled heads. Holy moly, if you work in the game of cleaning up garbage, then get ready because you might see some dead bodies. I don't think you get paid extra for that, but you might get a few days off. With pay, not too bad of a deal. I bet a few years into the job, you would be begging to see a dead body just so you could get that paid vacation. I mean, recovery time. Well, one garbage man got the scare of his life when he was in a landfill, dumping out the contents of the truck, and he saw a series of heads tumble out of the back. He shrieked in terror, which caused the other workers to run over. They were all bloodied and disfigured, and everyone started freaking out. Then upon closer inspection, it was revealed that they were all mannequin heads. They had just been used in a haunted house, and that's why they were so realistic looking and creepy. At number 7, we have electronics. Apparently this used to be a thing back in the day. People would drive behind big electronic stores and go through their garbage to see what they could find, and every now and again you would strike gold. It used to be policy to throw away damaged and dysfunctional goods, and people would take advantage of this. Apparently now you can't do this because companies caught wind of people digging through their trash, so they no longer dispose of malfunctioning equipment that way. They send it back to the supplier. I don't know if this one is an urban legend or true, but I like the idea of people furnishing an entire apartment with dumpster goods. It just seems so cost effective. At number 6, we have leftovers. You at home are probably thinking about food. Well, I'm going to tell you that this is not food. Well, it could be food if you were in a dire situation. So what do hospitals do with body parts after they amputate them? Well, they have to amputate them for a reason. So they might keep them for research, but what if the freezer is full? They don't want to just keep a chunk of human being laying around. Well, they have to dispose of it as hazardous waste. And who comes to get that? Well, special waste disposal workers will then take it to get destroyed. But if you're unlucky enough to look into the back of the truck, then you might see bones snapping and possible limbs spraying out blood as the thing crushes down on them. Ugh. Ugh. At number 5, we have a house. This one's actually a happy one for you. After the devastation of Hurricane Katrina, a lot of people were getting the insides of their homes torn out and starting from scratch. There wasn't really a lot of options after all the flooding, but one New Orleans man saw this as an opportunity to rebuild his destroyed home. He would go through all the material that people were throwing away, find the good stuff, and started working on his own home. Through all this material he was able to recycle, he was able to rebuild his home for a fraction of the cost. That does warm your heart up a little bit. At number 4, we have a bunch of iPhones. Now this is suspicious. Why does someone have that many iPhones? What does this mean? I don't know, but a garbage man in Northern Ireland came across a ton of iPhones, like so many. What could he have been doing with them? Did he want to sell them? Maybe that was what he was doing, and then maybe he was throwing away the broken ones that didn't work. Maybe this guy repairs iPhones and all the things in the garbage were just spare parts. Or maybe he was a thief that had stolen them from a ton of people and wanted to sell them off. Or he'd been murdering people and then taking the iPhones as trophies, but then he decided to do some spring cleaning and he threw them out. At number 3, we have the Enigma. Part of dumpster diving is you need to have a keen eye for things. You gotta know what you're looking for, because some things might seem like trash, but if you know how to spot something worthwhile, you might find a 1940s Enigma machine. What am I talking about? This can't be real. Well, Reddit says that it is real, and that's how the law works. On the Reddit thread titled Garbage Man of Reddit, what is the most illegal, strange, or valuable thing you have seen while gathering people's trash? Someone wrote about a summer they worked on a recycling plant and found one of the old Nazi Enigma machines just lying around. This is the machine the Nazis would use to make secret codes, and it was valued at $10,000. After that find, I hope he quit his job and then just spent the rest of the summer buying stuff off of pay-per-view and eating artisan donuts. That's what I would do. At number 2, we have actual heads. We faked you out with some fake heads, and I promise you that this one is real. Aren't you excited to find out what happened with all these heads that ended up in the trash? Well, the story doesn't have that much detail. It was a comment on a Reddit thread called Garbage Man of Reddit. What is the craziest, most disgusting thing you found during picking up trash? I guess there's a few of these Reddit threads flying around. I can't give the Redditor credit because he deleted his account, but the post was still up and lives on. The writer said that they were picking up trash on a busy street. They grabbed a bag, threw it into the back of the truck, and as it was being compacted, they saw the bag tear open and it revealed that it was full of dog heads. What the hell is going on? I guess the silver lining of this story is at least they're not human heads, but I think if someone's doing that to dogs, it won't be long before they move on to people. And for the number 1 spot, we have the files. This was news to me, but in Germany there is something called Spülmüll, and this is when people get to throw away large items from their home. A very smart idea if you ask me. Well, one Redditor talked about this and he said that his dad and him used to drive around rich neighborhoods on this day and see what goods they could find. Some rich people will throw away stuff that is in great working condition. They found a big old roll top desk that was a little dinged up, but with a little elbow grease it would be as good as new. When they got the thing home, they realized that one of the drawers were locked. Obviously they wanted to get into it, so they pried the drawer open, and in it was a file folder that was labeled secret US government. They were like, okay, sick, and they started to read the files. All the files were plans for a howitzer cannon. At this point they decided to call the US embassy, and within 2 hours dudes in black suits arrived at their house, started asking them a bunch of questions, and then took the files and left. I don't know what happened to the person that the files belonged to, but I'm guessing they got fired for sure. You can't just leave that stuff lying around on the side of the street. Alright everyone, that is our list, and as promised I'm going to be doing some more pet shoutouts. Remember, if you want me to shout out your pet, you can hit me up on Instagram. I pick new pets every day, so if you don't get picked one day, you can message back another day. I love all the fans getting involved. This is such a great thing to do. You keep sending me your pets and all this kind of stuff. And without taking any longer, let's shout out some pets. First we got Maisie. That is such a beautiful yellow bird. Look at her. She's a champ. She's eating some rice. I love it. Then we have Drogo. This guy's looking great in that black sleek cat style. After that we have Pugsley. Look at that little dude just hiding in the bed sheets. Oh my god. Next we got a cute little doggo. Now look at his big hair. What a good boy. Following that we have Duchess. Look at her just chilling so hard. This is the best. She's the best. And finally we have Jefferson. Look at how good that little dude looks. Alright everyone, that is our list. Thank you all so much for tuning in. As always, I would love it if you could like, comment, subscribe, and hit the little notification bell. Until next time, I've been Shade Arena, and maybe we should go dig around in garbage. Who knows what I'll find? It might be good.